the topic that we are covering is all clear to you from the very beginning. Do you have anything to ask before we proceed further? Anyone?
Swamiji.
So, yeah. Okay, Anandji, you please complete.
Swamiji, when we started from Adhyaropa Apamad, from there we came to the inclusion and exclusion topic, that is Anvaya Vyatireka. And from there we came to Sambandhatrayam. So we just wanted a connection between these three of it. So it would again have a good connectivity on this topic.
All right.
Yes.
Look at this. Let's try to make a synopsis of this. Let's say the entire topic is focused only on analysis of one sentence. For now, we consider it is an analysis of only one sentence. Okay. Now, by the very virtue that this is called as Uttara Mimamsa, and Mimamsa, the word Mimamsa means analysis, which is done with a reverential attitude. Okay, what is Mimamsa? Mimamsa is not simply that, you go about doing the, udherte jao, aise nahi. It means it is definitely an analysis, but an analysis which is undertaken with an attitude of reverence. The word Mimamsa allows us to understand this meaning. Mimamsa, if you look at it, the dictionary meaning will be Pavitra Vichar. So something that is contemplated upon, and the way it is contemplated is with certain sanctity to it. So reverence. What vakyam have you taken for analysis, for understanding? And then the whole focus is on one vakyam, and that is Tattvanusandhanam. Okay. The rest of the vakyas are also called as the vakyas which will help us understand this Mahavakyam. So they are called as Avantara vakyas of the Upanishad, and this is called as the Mahavakyam. In the Mahavakyam, the oneness of Atma and Paramatma is shown. Okay. So what do you have here is the Mahavakyam, and that Mahavakyam is Tattvamasi, in which, of course, then you have these words Tat, Tvam, and Asi, these three words. In order to understand these, the sentence, we need to have the meaning of the words also acquired. So what is it that we see? So beginning with that, it is said the process is called as Adhyaropa Apavada. What is called as Adhyaropa? Adhyaropa means superimposition. The way the world, yourself, and Ishvara appears to you, What do you initially understand by this world in which you are subjected to joys and sorrows? Then you yourself, who is the experiencer of joys and sorrows, one who wants to escape the sorrows, yeah, and expand his joys, this experiencer, this doer, what is his status and what is this Ishvara? What is this Ishvara? So now, in providing you this explanation as what the Jiva is, what is Ishvara, Jagat, Abhinna Nimitto, Padana Karanam, etc., up to understanding up to this is all Adhyaropa. Is called as Adhyaropa, the superimposition. What is called as desuperimposition, Apavada, to understand that this consciousness is free from all the upadhis, is free from all the conditionings, because these conditionings are only an appearance. Okay, whether it is the Maya or whether it is the Maya or whether it is avidya, all these conditionings are only an appearance. This understanding, that to understand it this way, is called as apavada. Okay, and in order to understand how is this consciousness free from all these conditionings, so we first understand Anvaya, and then through Vyatireka. Anvaya means inclusion. In case of Tatpadartha, what did we find? That even when the world is there, Paramatma consciousness is the substratum. And when the world is also not there, the consciousness still remains. So there is, the consciousness remains free, is always free from all these upadhis. So there is Vyatireka. Okay, that these what do they call, the conditionings are Vyatirikta. They are, and what is their status? The status is that of only an appearance, mithya eva. So thus there is, in understanding of the Tatpada, you have Anvaya and Vyatireka. If you remember, we have done this. Let me bring you back to the page also. If you go through these from page number 102, etc., you will come to that. The Anvaya and Vyatireka of the Tat Padartha. Then also the Tvam Padartha, that whether it is this, the Jiva is called as Vaishvanara, Taijasa, so not Vaishvanara, Vishwa, Taijasa, or Prajna. This consciousness is always present, is always present. When the Stula Deha is not there, this Taija, he remains as Taijasa. Even when the subtle body is also not there, he remains as Prajna. And even when the Avidya, which is the conditioning of making him appear as Prajna, is destroyed in the state of liberation, this I, the Atma, still remains and therefore is Vyatirikta. So this the self is always available. And therefore, through Anvaya and Vyatireka of the Tatpada and Tvampada, you arrive at the meaning that the meaning that the actual meaning, the laksharth of the word tat is also pure consciousness, and the meaning of the word tvam is also pure consciousness, undivided, because the divisions belong to anatma. And what is the status of anatma? Only an appearance. So therefore, now how can this ever cause any divisions in Atma and Paramatma? So do you have now these two pure consciousnesses? So we are going to say, no, sir, it is one and the same, and therefore there is no difference. And this oneness is Akhanda Chaitanyam, is what is meant by the sentence Tattvamasi. This is the meaning of the Vakyam. So thus, Adhyaropa and Apavad, and through Adhyaropa Apavada we come. The analysis is done through Anvaya and Vyatireka, inclusion and exclusion of both Tat and Tvam, through which you arrive at the meaning which is called as the Lakshartha. And when the Laksharthas of both the words are taken to understand, to apply it in the sentence, then the sentence delivers this meaning, understanding that this Atma is Purnam, complete. How? Through the way the words relate to each other. And there are these three Sambandhas, therefore. The Samanadhikaranya Sambandha, the Visheshana Vishesha Bhava Sambandha, and then finally Lakshya Lakshana Bhava Sambandha. This is the total of all how we come to the topic where we are presently. Is that okay, Anand?
Yes, Swamiji.
Do you need anything more on this?
Swamiji, after again more of Manan, I will. If
You
I
will have
have
to
any
speak a
question,
little loudly.
Swamiji, after a little more chintan on this, I will. If I have any queries, I will surely ask again, Swamiji.
All right. All right. Though what happens is that, because we are not able to retain the track of it, because all other things also, the rest of the life and other events and our preoccupations become so overbearing that this somewhere gets lost. And that is the reason why we have even the sannyasa ashram. Okay. Now people like Vachaspati Mishra, who are, Sureshwaracharya, Vachaspati Mishra, Sri Harsha Mishra, etc. All these people were great acharyas, though they were grihasthas. But their commitment to Shravana Manana Nidhyasanam was way far greater than even one can imagine. But this may not be possible for most of us. And therefore, the Shastra has given this provision of what is called as the sannyasa ashram, where a person stays immersed only in Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. Therefore, for a sannyasi, there is no other commitment. Running an ashram, running a temple. Sannyasi is not a priest. Sannyasi is, for him, there is only one sadhana, and that is Shravana Manana and Nididhyasanam. That is what he should be just doing. Nevertheless, I must appreciate you people for keeping it up in spite of all your patience in your, from your house as a householder, etc. I will tell you one thing at this point is that yes, it is required that we have clarity of understanding, but at the same time, all your duties as a householder, etc., may not allow you to give so much time, as well as to give so much of your what do they call the thought to all these things. But you can all remember, do the upasana of Ishvara, meaning that even if all of you keep reminding yourself that having moksha as the purushartha, yes, presently it may appear that I have commitments and other things which are important to run the family, the household, your business, and your work. Yet, what ultimately I would want is to see Paramatma, to be liberated. Even keeping yourself, reminding yourself of this all the time, at least 5 times a day, 10 times a day, if you keep reminding yourself, my ultimate goal is Paramatma. Even if you say this to yourself, this is where, Lord, let me not forget that you are truly my destination. No matter what I may presently be occupied with all other things, but you bless me, you protect me, that I may never forget you. Let this be the form of your prayer as a grihastha, and it will keep you taking through. Okay? Because I understand that it may be difficult, yet you people are going along with it. That itself is Ishvara's grace. This is Ishvara's grace. Because Bhagavan Dattatreya says, Ishvara anugraha deva pumsam advaita vasana. Wanting to know that this Atma is Brahman. Just wanting to know, how is this Atma Brahman? Advaita vasana. If you did not have a compelling force from within, why would you even wake up early, sit, give your time, give your energy. That means there definitely is a compelling force which is making you do this Shravanam, even of this Granth, of this book, Tattvanusandhanam. And that means it is Ishvara's grace, Ishvara Anugrahadeva, out Ishvara's compassion. One has become a patra meaning a vessel for Ishvara's compassion to be received. Like, the rain falls everywhere. But where will the rainwater be collected? Only in those vessels or those places where it can be stored. The rest of the places it falls, but it gets drained away. So to say that Ishvara has got special grace only for some people is not true. Ishvara's grace is there on all in equal measure. Whether he is a papi or a punyavan, vidwan or murkha, Ishvara's grace is there. Yet, it is only in the right vessel, right recipient, it will be retained. And so, because of that, the Ishvara's grace now this becomes possible for you people even to say that let me apply myself and see, understand how is this Atma Brahman. How does the Shastra explain that this Atma is Brahman? To understand is Jnanam. To accept it only on the strength of faith and to meditate accordingly, then is called as Upasana. A person at the point may not understand, but he simply accepts it by saying that I have Shraddha in the Shastra, and that because the Shastra now says Atma is Brahman, let me do this Upasana, Atma is Brahman. So this is Nirguna Upasana that a person is doing. And we have seen over here also in this very book, it was told to us that sooner or later, this Nirguna Upasana also takes the form of Nididhyasanam, and it will become the path for the knowledge to take place. So keep yourself abreast, keep yourself, let your day begin with a prayer, let your day end with a prayer that, Lord, let me never forget that you are my destination. You are where I ultimately have to come. The rest of the world, rest of the things, they will come and go. So many lives we must have lived with so many sets of people, relatives, and all properties and money and all these things. But Lord, none of them have stayed with us forever. The only one who has always been with me is you. You have held my hand. Though I have ignored you all the time, but you have been very compassionate. You have held my hand. And in this life, now, Lord, let this be my resolution that may I have your darshan, may I see you. Ishvara darshan is what I want, and Ishvara darshanam is this. to know that this Atma itself is Ishvara, not apart from Ishvara. Okay. I don't want to scare you people, but continue with this upasana, with this prayer. In ashram also presently, because of the Navratri, etc., there are these people from Haryana, Punjab also who have come. There is a lot of crowd over here. Well, now let us take this at least one sentence, because I would want to finish this today's session a little early. So now, whenever a sentence is spoken, the words of the sentence necessarily will show objects which are limited. And not only that, even when the sentence delivers its meaning, in that meaning of the sentence too, there will be parts. There will be parts. And therefore, how a sentence is capable of showing that which is partless, akhanda vastu, is the question. Okay, this is now the topic. How will it show? So now, let us look at this. On 120, the commentary section, Nanu ghatam anaya ityadau samsargo va vishishto va vakyarthaha sarvasammataha natu akhanda vakyarthaha kaishchan abhyupagamyate iti ashankya aha samsargasyeti. So now there is an ashanka, there is a doubt which is raised. He says, Ghatam anaya. Now take a simple sentence, a sentence as simple as this. Ghatam anaya, you bring the pot. So maybe the teacher tells the student, bring the pot. Pani pina hai, ghada le aao. Nanu ghatam anaya, tvam ghatam anaya. Now look at that. In a sentence like this, or a sentence which is like, a blue, big, fragrant lotus. Nilotpalam, Sugandhi, Mahat, Nilotpalam. Utpalam means that blue lotus. How is it? Sugandhi, Mahat, big. Well, it is not a small little, no, it's big lotus. Sugandhi. So now on these vakyas, both these vakyas where you have Ghatam Anaya, bring the pot, or even when you say anything like this, the structure of the sentence is such that it will always have, it will be in parts, and because there is parts, the components of the sentence, okay, how are they with how will that be? That it will be the sentence finally will be sansrishta or vishishta. Sansrishta and vishishta. We will see now how it is. So samsrishta means samsarga is there. There is some contact. So ghatam anaya. Tvam ghatam. So now you and that ghata and the kriya. How many things are there? Kriya meaning the action, the subject, the object, and the verb. The subject is you, object is ghatam, and the verb denotes the kriya, the action. So there are three components, and all these three are then connected to each other. Okay, and this is how the meaning that I should bring the ghada, I should bring the pot. This is what the understanding finally takes place. So any vakyam, generally speaking, Laukika Vakyas or the Shastriya Vakyas are also like this, which are samsrishta. Okay? They are how? Samsrishta, because there is samsarga, contact between these elements, components. Samsrishta Vakyas. Samsrishtartha or Vishishtartha. Vishishta meaning there is a Visheshana. So the lotus is the object. Then to talk about the lotus, it is big, it is fragrant, it is blue. So all the other words will become the adjectives and the lotus is the substantive. So generally all the vakyas, how are these vakyas? They are samsrishta or vishishta. And by that virtue, they cannot show something that is partless. Okay? They will not show anything that is partless. And therefore, now the question comes as, sir, how do you claim that there is this vakyam like the Tattvanusandhanam Mahavakya is able to show akhandartha? Okay? Nanu ghatam anaya ityadavo samsargo va vishishto va vakyarthaha sarvasammataha. It is accepted by all sarvasammataha. And natu akhanda vakyarthaha kaishchid abhyupagamyate. None of these people, which means none of the darshankaras, would ever accept, whether it is a grammarian or whether it is some other darshankar. Nobody ever says that a vakyam like ghatam anaya is ever showing akhandarth. Because why? Because it is samsrishta vakyarth. It cannot show akhanda vakyarth. Na kaishchidabhyupagamyate. So this is not acceptable to anyone. Iti ashankya. And this is that's why if it is a vakyam, if it is a sentence, the sentence necessarily will show what it cannot show. It cannot deliver akhanda vakyartha. It cannot. How? Why? Because it will always be samsrishta or vishishta vakya. Okay? And that's why now, how do you say that it is able to give akhanda vakya? So now he has altogether, looks like, sealed the possibility that Brahman ever can be known through the Vakyam. Okay? It cannot be known. Iti ashankya aha. Ha. So now this is how does it come into the Moola Grantha? He says, Samsargasya va vishishtasya va विशिष्टाइक्यस्य वा प्रत्यक्षादि विरुद्धत्वेन तत्वमस्यादि वाक्य प्रतिपाद्यत्व अयोगात्. Now it is seen that the sentences will give either these three vakyarthas. It will function through samsarga, vishishta or vishishtai. And therefore, to say that it is giving akhanda artha is something that is pratyaksha viruddha. It is not acceptable. So now he goes. Satyamevam. Satyevam. Satyamevam. Satyevam nahi hai. Satyamevam. So what? So there is ardhangikar. So he says, yes, what you say is correct. What you say is correct. Okay. Tathapi, yet, samsargatvam va vishishtatvam va na vakya pratipadyatve tantram. It is not always that samsargatva and vishishtatva will only be the way in which the vakyam will deliver its meaning. No, it is not. Tantram anabhimata samsargadehe api vakyarthatva apattehe kim tarhi tatparya vishayatvam. Why, sir? Because this is a topic that really needs a little more attention from us and an explanation too. We are going to do this, though the text over here has, the author has not glossed over it, but he has given an idea, and we will go through this in little more detail. Kintarhi tatparya vishayatvam. It depends on what is the tatparyam. Tatparyam meaning that what is intended to be delivered. That what is intended to be delivered. Actually, the word tatparyam means vakturichha tatparyam. That what is meant by the speaker to be delivered to the listener is called as tatparyam. So this vakyam is, the sentence also has something to deliver so that you can understand something. That is what determines whether the vakyam will be samsrishta vakyarthaha, will be able to give samsrishta vakyarthaha, or vishishta vakyarthaha, or akhanda vakyarthaha. What will it? It is just not the sentence. It is the tatparyam of the sentence which determines what the vakyam will deliver. Tatparyancha akhande brahmani upakramadi lingaihi vedantanam avadhritam iti akhandam brahma vakyarthaha. So, how do you know, sir, that this sentence is still wanting to show you Brahman, which is partless? So he says, we come to understand that Brahman is partless through the analysis that we have done of the Upanishad, through the 6 lingas. Tatparyam cha akhande brahmani upakramadi lingaihi vedantanam avadhritam. This is what we have come to understand about Brahman through the 6 lingas, indications to understand what is the Tattvaryam. I think I'm going to stop at this point for today and come back to you tomorrow, or maybe if this, because of these Navratri things, if we are not able to meet tomorrow, we will meet again and begin from this same point. So please don't worry how we are going to do all this, but we will do it with more patience. Today, and don't worry, because because of my not being well or anything, I'm okay, but we will come back to this. Brahmaham yat prasadena mai vishvam prakalpitam Srimad Swayam Prakashakhyam Pranavmi Jagatam Guru Yah Paramatma Jagat Srishtva Pravivesha Punaswayam Tang Krishnam Pratyagatmanam Vande Gopi Manoharam Yasya Prasadadahamadvayatma Vishvam Samastam Mayi Kalpitancha Tan Sarvalokaikagurum Sadashri Swayam Prakasham Gurumanatosmi Gurunam Charanam Bhojam Pranipatya Nirantaram Tatkripa Dvaita Chinta Kaustu Kumarabhe Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Shanti 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 Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Padarayanam Sutra Bhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Thank you all. Thank you very much.